welcome to another monthly update. This month we have three things we're going to highlight. First, Justin's going to talk about some core values. Trista's got some employee news, and at the end we'll come back to me and we'll hear about safety and talk about the progression of the various safety changes we've made at Wilmer Electric over the past few decades.
Hi, Justin Chapin in my office, talking to you today about the core values. Wilmer Electric's core values are treat others the way you want to be treated, merit shop, thrifty, and meet customer needs. We say them in that order because we believe that there is a priority to them, and the most important core value that we have is treat others the way you want to be treated. Treat others the way you want to be treated. It's the golden rule, and it also assumes that you want to be treated well. I think we all do, and that's what we mean by treat others the way you want to be treated. It's just a simple way of treating people well. Merit Shop was coined in the 1950s by ABC people in Baltimore, Maryland, and it believes that people should be treated as individuals based on their talents and skills. Wilmer Electric believes that as well. We also believe that we should be able to propose on projects regardless of our labor affiliation. That again is Merit Shop. And we believe that this value is essential to the American free enterprise system. So thrifty is defined by Elmo Chapin, my grandfather, who was extremely thrifty, and one of the ways that we would describe it is that we have a limited amount of resources and that we need to use them well. Also, another way of saying it is that we're just stewards of the talents and money that God has given us, and that we need to use them wisely. The final core value is meet customer needs, and this is best shown by our desire to improve and to become better. We want to eliminate waste in our installations and in our processes. We also want to eliminate waste that may be found in our documents and our drawings that other people have produced, and trying to install things more efficiently and productively. So those are our core values. Treat others the way you want to be treated, merit shop, thrifty, and meet customer needs. Again, there's priority in that we believe that treat others the way you want to be treated is the most valuable of those. Where there may be conflict in your mind, that's what we view as the most important. Hopefully you have committed those to memory already, and that you're living those out on a daily basis on the job sites or the office, or throughout your entire life wherever you are. Thanks for all the work you do.
Hello, today is May 31st, and we are looking into June and welcoming new people and celebrating anniversaries. And I wanted to give you the list of new people who have started, and we'd like to welcome them. At this point in time, our new people who have started here in Oklahoma, we have Ethan Marquin, Albert Martle, and Jerry Lee Newell, and they are all apprentices, and they have just started. In Nebraska, we have a construction management intern, Nick Blazer. So if you see him, if you're in the Nebraska field, see him out in the field, welcome him, and he is just learning all kinds of fun stuff there too in regards to construction management. And then we have all the rest are apprentices who have just started here in the last month of May for Nebraska. Josh Hayes, Mitchell Jancic, Darby Corridor, Humberto Martinez, Josh Grondin, Gabby Sedin, and Jacob Mazur. Thank you and welcome to Wilmer Electric. And in Nebraska, we also have some new people starting as well. We have Nathan Torkelson, who is a construction management intern, so if you see him out on the job sites while you're out in Minnesota, welcome him and help him understand how job projects work in Minnesota. We also have Lizzie Gardner, who is here as an accounting intern, and then we have Tune, who is here as an apprentice, and Brandon Volchis as an apprentice, and we are welcoming back Carl Chapin and Nathan Davis and as laborers, as well as welcoming Will Chapin as a new laborer this year too. Let's move on to anniversaries here in June, excuse me. And so we have lots of anniversaries happening here in June in Minnesota. We have Brandon Nelson, who has been here 2 years, and Trevor Dobmeyer, who has been here 2 years as well. John Herman has been here 4 years, and Corey Barber, who is in the engineering department, has been here 5 years. And then we have Steve Gardner and Ryan Storms, who have been here 11 years and both started on the exact same day. And then we have Jared Johnson, who comes in from Minnesota with 12 years. In Nebraska, we have Clark Stelter, who has been a part-time employee for us in the prefab shop, as well as doing the weekly brief, and he has been here 1 year. And then we have Jason Church, who has been here 6 years. Ricardo Ramos and Reagan Rickstein have been here 9 years, and then we round out with Paul Latimer, who's been here 17 years. And then we go down to Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, we have Jose Becerril, and Jose has been here 10 years. We have Drew Jans, and he has been here 12 years. And then we have Greg Fletcher, who has been here 22 years. So we thank everybody for their service here at Wilmer Electric, and we look forward to another fun year.
Hello. Wanted to give a little update as part of this month's employee video about safety and how we got to where we are today. So as you can see, I'm wearing safety glasses, I'm wearing safety gloves, I even have hard-soled shoes on. Don't have a hard hat on, but just going to go over how we got to where we are today. The first thing to talk about is drug testing. Wilmer Electric started drug testing back in the early 80s, where it really became apparent to us that it was important that we provide as safe of a environment for people to work in as possible. And we're working around big machinery, we're working in safety sensitive areas, and you don't want to work next to someone who's high. So we would go into the areas and started and drug tested everybody, did a pre-employment, that worked for us at that time, started pre-employment screening and random screening to make sure that the people that worked at Wilmer Electric were in condition, ready to work. And since then, it's been fantastic. And not only do you not want to work with someone who's high at the time, but nobody wants to work with someone who has a drug habit. If many times we're there in a position, we're hand to hand working with somebody, and we're relying on that other person to maintain their safe work habits to keep safe. The next thing came along as we were having lots of eye injuries. Had a job site where not someone who worked for Wilmer Electric, but someone on that job site got poked and lost their eye. Had a screwdriver they were prying with, trying to pry. On a job site we were working on, a guy lost his eye, was prying something and poked his eye out and caused him to lose his eye. And it was a tragedy. We had a few other incidences. Our safety record, as we look back, there was a lot of eye injuries, people were getting things in their eyes, so we went with safety glasses and we added safety shields on the side because things were coming on the side and trying to be, again, prevent the injuries as we saw them come up. The next step for us was safety gloves, that we went 100% safety gloves, that people were getting cuts on their hands, and we put a lot of work in and still continue to fine tune which gloves are best for the situations that Wilmer Electric's in. I can remember 2 different people questioning that we should be wearing just leather gloves, that these gloves weren't as good protection. So we came back here right into this shop, and I got out a knife and I took the gloves and I took a pair of leather gloves and with a utility knife and I cut them, and they cut just like butter. You know, they went right through like that. And then took these, and they're hard to cut. Get out your gloves once and try to cut them with a utility knife. You really have to work at it, and they protect your hands from cuts. The person said, "Well, yeah, but what about leather gloves? They're better when you're out doing barbed wire fences." And well, you know what? We're not doing barbed wire fences. We're not worried about punctures as much as we're worried about cuts. So we went cut-resistant gloves. And it wasn't a week later, someone else came back and was questioning whether or not our gloves were as safe as leather gloves. And again, do the test with them and show them how leather gloves cut, and these, they didn't cut. So they're cut resistant and really helpful. We've eliminated cuts. And so now we're to the point where we have drug testing, we're eye protection and gloves, and we're reducing the number of injuries that we have down to just soft tissue injuries. It was the next one we're having. People with back strains and injuries over time, and we've noticed and went into looking into stretching. So we start stretching every morning, and we implement that and doing stretches. And since we've started doing stretching, the number of soft tissue injuries have again gone down to almost the point of elimination here at Wilmer Electric, because really that's the environment for safe work, is to look at where the next possible injuries and illnesses are and eliminating them. So it's a matter of on the macro schedule of we're having eye injuries, we're having hand injuries, we're having soft tissue injuries. We need to do overall encompassing things, but even on the local job site level, it's looking at where's the danger in this task that I'm doing, how do I eliminate it so that we don't have that injury? What's going to cause the injury? Eliminate the risk and prevent injuries. So as you also get into thinking about it, the craft that we do, it's a hand-eye coordination is what it takes. It's hands, we're protecting those. Eyes, we're protecting that. Drug testing, again, it's a heavy mental activity of becoming an electrician, and so doing the drug testing is preventing and making sure that people are showing up with their minds alert, and that provides for safety. And then the last thing is, of course, the entire body, which is where stretching comes in. All right, so we have hands and eyes and mind and our entire body. We want to be people making a difference for people, and so we look into all the different elements that we can help and provide a safe work environment for all the people that are part of Wilma Electric, and that helps us to fulfill our purpose of being people making a difference for people. Thank you. Have a safe month. Means taking care of people and their physical well-being. Let's wait for the siren to end, and I'll say that again, because it's a terrible thing to have on the end of a safety video.